when I had a very close encounter with God, I felt His unconditional love for me, and I felt that everything is going to be okay. Like I have you. I'm your loving father, and I'll protect you. And no matter what hard things go through, I'll be there. I'll hold you strong. When I felt that, that gave me an overwhelming peace in my life.
Hey guys, so today I've had the opportunity to sit with one of my close friends, Justin Chen. Justin is a entrepreneur, businessman, and he offers his services to help businesses and individuals achieve their goals, both personal and professional development. So we've talked about a lot of things. I hope you guys enjoy today's conversation. Mr. Justin, I am so happy to connect with you after so long. It's an absolute pleasure. How are you? I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, it's been great. I'm here in rainy Vancouver. I just got back from a family trip in Hawaii.
Oh,
I'm,
nice.
I'm I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to. There's something about Vancouver air. Once you get here again.
Justin, I've been following you for so many years and seeing your activities, and I had to bring you on board in this panel just for you to share with us some insight about the stuff that you do. I have some questions prepared for you, and I know my audience are gonna love hearing it. So let's jump right into it. How does that
Sounds
sound?
good. Sounds like a
Right.
plan.
So the first one here, Justin, I know that you describe wanting to be a king maker, not a king. And how does this principle shape your definition of success and leadership?
Yeah, I know that's a great question. I've been very blessed that I've had, very great mentors in my life that, really believed in me more than I believed in myself, and really sought to help me grow and become a better man. And at the end of the day, we don't take our, treasures into, my belief is that we don't take our physical treasures into heaven when we
Mm.
when we pass away. But what greater sign of success when it's amazing what can be done when no one cares who gets the credit.
Right. That's
But
true.
isn't it cool? You're in hospitality, right? Like
Yeah.
I think it's very common for people like, oh, I want to be a person to help the customer, so I get the nicer tip or
Yeah.
whatever, right? But it's amazing when I always most magical experiences I've experienced is when no one cares who gets the credit. The
Mm.
customer comes number one, and
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I really believe that we can live life that way. That I don't care if I'm the most successful or I have the most notoriety. I have some incredible young men and women that I
Hmm.
mentor and I help, and if they can make more money than me, if they can go impact more people than me, if people write articles about them and they win the Nobel Peace Prize, like what more greater honor and joy does that give me versus me having to be the guy, right? Yeah.
Wow. In the world that we live in, it's always the people wanting to reach that position of being the king rather than going through the process of becoming the king. And it seems like from your side, it's the process. It's the process of becoming or being the king maker, which matters to you more in shaping their lives for them to actually reach that stage. And I think I know what you mean by that, Justin. It's like people tend to reach positions becoming kings, CEOs, general managers, and in some cases some people reach that position without actually um, sometimes they don't deserve being put in that position. And I know for a fact that there are some leaders out there that are in that position and they have never actually done the process of doing what it takes to become that position. How could you manage something you've never done before? Going through that process of what you're talking about is extremely important so that you can lead the right way. And I like that. That's very humble and modest way of saying, I don't need to be a king, but I would like to be the person supporting to become the king. That's an actually very nice way of looking at it. Nice. Thank you for that. Okay, so here's the second question. So you're involved in community development, focusing on empowering future leaders. What personal practices or mindsets do you believe are most critical for building lasting confidence in others? Wow.
Yeah, I feel like people need to be encouraged. No, number one, people need to be encouraged
Mm-hmm.
more than
Mm-hmm.
they're taught. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and adding to that, I think people need to be reminded more than instructed.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's plenty of new information out there. I think for the most part, everyone knows what they need to do to move
Mm-hmm.
on in their career or make the impact they want to do. Uh, you know,
True.
who listening to this, or you yourself, or me and you, who can say that we have perfect habits and we do
Mm.
everything right all the time, right? I think for most part, we know that we're on social media too much or
Yeah.
blah, blah blah, right? We all know the things that we need to do if you're wanting to get healthier or you want to fix your finances. We know we need to spend less and earn more. We know
Yeah.
that we need to eat less and move more.
Yeah.
But I think most people need encouragement and
Yeah.
reminders more than actual tips. Most people want to be
Mm.
heard more than.
That's very true. Do you have any particular example? Like, what's your positive mindset to set something like that? What would you do?
Yeah, I've always said, I've always, I said this is like in terms of empowering future leaders, like in terms of
Mm.
just talking about like, hey, if you're working with someone, how can you help them elevate? I guess
Mhm.
I'm not sure if this is going
Mhm.
towards like management or anybody that's in leadership position,
Mhm.
right? Um, I really believe in the philosophy that you should laugh a lot, teach a little,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
That
Enjoy it, right?
Yeah, no, because I think a lot of times, we're so used to, employment situations or job situations where we're being told what to do,
Yeah,
or
that's true.
we come from a school background where we're told what to think, we're
That's very
told
true.
about what's the proper way to do things, right? And who wants to live like that, right?
That's
And I
true.
think when you can lead with encouragement and you can empower people, and that's the question between a leader and a manager, right? A manager,
Mm.
you tell people what to do. A leader, you empower someone to give people the space and the creativity and the flexibility and autonomy to live up to their
Mhm.
full potential, right? And perform to their full potential.
That's a beautiful thing to say, because empowerment and the way that you describe this, like, give them ownership, let people feel empowered to do things, delegate extra tasks for them, let them feel involved. So these types of examples, I believe you're right, are great ways to encourage people to strive and become better. Very cool, very cool. So with that being said, then what would be your definition of success then?
Yeah, there's uh, I've done a few purpose exercise. I feel
Mhm.
like there's three areas in my life that are very important to me.
Mhm.
Um, Number one is that um, I want to be able to take care of my family,
Mhm.
both obviously my wife and my parents, but then also my future kids,
Mhm.
and take care of them not just in terms of financially,
Yeah.
but I want to be there for them. I
Yeah.
want to be able to become a great father, a great husband, um, great son, right?
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure anybody can relate, but I grew up in an immigrant household, so my parents, they were working 7 days a week, so I never saw them around.
Mhm.
And I'm very thankful for what they've done and the sacrifices they've made for me,
Yeah.
and they've provided for me in terms of put a roof over my head and you know um, I knew we were poor, but I never felt we were poor, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
They never made you feel less fortunate or less. They didn't. That your parents did a fantastic job to not make you feel like you don't have that less, I guess.
Yeah. So no, I want to be able to provide that for my family in the future, right?
Mhm.
And also at the same time is that the second thing is that I want to be in. I want to. There's it was Billy Graham's wife. I think it was Ruth Graham. I can't remember her name.
Mm.
On her tombstone, it wrote, um, "End of construction. Thank you for your patience."
End of construction. Thank you for your patience. What? On her
so I
tombstone. What
so I
does that
love
mean, you think?
that really spoke out to me that we're always in the constant progress of construction and building ourselves. until the day we die, right?
Mhm.
That she was very cognizant and
Mm.
conscious that she was moving her life forward. I believe that when Teddy Roosevelt died, they found like a book under his pillow or something like that, right?
Mm. Mm.
Um,
Mm.
that constant progression that I know that I'm always working for myself to become a better man.
Mhm.
There's certain things I'm working on this year in terms of my health, performance,
Yeah.
certain vices I'm trying to get rid of, and every
Mm.
year I want to be moving to progress and towards. We're never going to be perfect, and I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and the last thing is that, yeah, like I said, I would love to, a marker of success for me is that if I could train 100 people that did
Yeah.
stratospherically better than me, in terms of
Mhm.
financially, but also the impact they're making in the world. That'd be a blessing that I would feel so proud of, and
Do you
yeah,
think,
emotional about.
in order for you to be in that level of success as a role model and to become this type of individual, it should come with a significant amount of failure with it as well? Like,
Sure.
how many blowbacks and hiccups and roadblocks and turbulences are you willing to take, hit after hit, that life throws at you? Yet in the back of your mind, you know that you're striving to continue constructing yourself to develop and progress to become better. But life tends to add this weight on you, which messes with your ability to move forward. It brings you down, it can
Sure.
drain you. So this psychological mental approach of mental toughness, I sometimes find myself struggling with, to be able to move forward. And so what practices or what way would you be able to do when you're dealing with all these unfortunate circumstances?
Yeah. If you're talking specifically about leadership,
Mhm.
you know this because the best part about being a leader is
Mhm.
working with people and
Mhm.
sewing into people.
Yeah.
But the worst part about it is working with people and dealing with people, right?
Good point. Yes.
Right, because we've all been there, right? You're investing into a new protege,
So true.
and you go through maybe a bunch of interviews to find a perfect guy, or just maybe someone comes up from the ranks and he says, or he or she says, yeah, I'm loyal to you. I'm your ride or die. I believe in your vision. Blah blah blah. Right? They disappear, or
Mhm.
something happens, or sometimes it's a life situation, but sometimes they
Mhm.
get a better opportunity elsewhere, right?
True.
And it's easy to kind of take that. I don't even want. It's not really betrayal, but sometimes it could be betrayal. Sometimes there are tough situations that happen
Mhm.
where people are defamatory or
Mhm.
accusatory, or God forbid, they don't. There's no money or infidelity that happens that's involved, but that happens too,
True.
and
True.
in those situations, it's easy to feel betrayed, and it feels like
Yeah.
you want to put your guard up and you don't want to put your heart over the
Mhm.
line again
That's
for the
true.
next person, right?
Yeah.
um
Yeah. Makes sense.
yeah, but like you know it the way I look at myself is that eventually I look at myself like, what other choice do I have but to
Yeah.
put my bar over the line and um
Pull
and
through.
try again, and
Try again.
eventually, yeah, I think we meet people for a reason, a
Yeah.
season, and a lifetime.
Mm.
And if we have a healthy perspective that the lifetime ones are gems, they are
Mm.
rare,
Mm.
but when we do find those and you build those million, that very those very meaningful relationships, that's going to be worth it in the end.
Yeah.
um yeah, no,
That's
I
true.
totally expect to be screwed over, when I'm trying to build 100 people to be more successful than me, right? I
Yeah.
totally expect someone to, I'm really good. For example, I'm really good at teaching people how to, like, network and and and
That's good.
and become great
Connecting.
communicators.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Connecting people.
Yeah, I know. And charisma is
So
could be a
important.
tool. Charisma could be a tool or a weapon, right? You can use
Mm,
it to add value to people and help people kind of towards what they go their goals, or
yeah,
you can also use it to manipulate people,
that's
right?
true.
In terms of selling them something they don't want, or doing something they don't want to do, or
Yeah.
you know or yeah, there's a
Well,
lot involved in that.
so with those types of characteristics that you're mentioning of behaviors or styles, how do you will definitely be dealing with certain situations where you'll have to here it says one of your questions you list something called falling forward as a top skill, and can you share a specific professional failure that maybe you have encountered where ultimately it strengthened your confidence, and how did that reframe your experience when it came to falling forward?
Yeah, professional failures. Um,
It's
you want to
similar.
go way back,
Uh, yeah, no, sorry to cut you up. It reminds me of Denzel Washington's quote he mentioned about falling forward. And when you fall, instead of falling back, I'd rather fall forward. And for your case, when you deal with any kind of unfortunate setbacks, how do you keep your mental toughness to stay confident and reframe that experience to become better?
yeah, I remember, I remember when um, I was rallying a team together in the corporate world. We were working on $1 million deal. It was
Hmm.
I was working at a marketing agency at the time,
Hmm.
and we submitted RFP, RFQ, and we got to the final step, and like it felt like um, yeah, it felt like we invested a lot of resources. No one
Hmm.
believed in me. No one believed in us, right?
Hmm.
And it was still kind of, it felt like we're going against the grain.
Hmm.
And at the end of the day, we didn't win that RFP, right? So we
Hmm.
invested tens of thousands of dollars of resources in bidding for this project,
That's tough.
and yeah, and we it was across the border too. So we took a whole team of like one of our top project managers and marketers, and
Mhm.
we did a trip all the way over and everything like that. And yeah, I know. And eventually, it didn't work out, right? Um,
Yeah.
and I realized then that I I realized in that moment that I didn't feel like I was enough.
Mm.
I didn't feel like one of the, whether or not, regardless of the results, I felt like the people that were working on the project were more qualified. They knew more than me. Um, but I realized that I know the I need to take ownership. I need to take extreme ownership, regardless of the position.
Yeah.
That I think a lot of times that people are so busy in the other things, right? That
Right.
if it is up to if it is to be, it's up to me. So I need
Mm.
to take on that full ownership, and I realized that at that moment that I need to, in the future, it's so easy that when there's other authority figures that you just kind of rely it on, you push off the responsibility on other people.
Very true.
And I realized at that moment is that, hey, we might have lost the deal either way. But I
Mm.
realized if I diagnosed
Mm.
what I could have done better, is I could have taken more ownership
Mm.
on putting a deal together, make sure that everything's clear, and just because my executive put together a set, my boss put together these set of slides, it's up to me to push back,
Mm.
or with good people skills, right?
Yeah, of
To
course.
push back if I don't believe it's what the right thing for the client, right?
Yeah.
And I like to say that after that, I learned a lot from that experience.
Hmm.
I still ended up finishing top in the entire company,
Good.
um,
Good. Good.
after that year, and
Good. Good job.
yeah, and I was able to, at the end of that year, I was able to take my mom. I wasn't married at the time,
Mm.
to like a 5-star luxury vacation in Mexico,
That's nice.
and that was a very it was key from like failure to kind of
Triumph.
triumph. Exactly.
It's moments like those that where you will sometimes have to like understand what part of yourself do you have to let go in order for you to grow. Like this is where it supplements the question for you. What part of yourself did you have to let go through all of those moments of trial and tribulations, where you will notice that, you know what, this is not serving me well, this is not helping me, whether it could be a mental way of speaking to yourself, your subconscious mind, or whether it's some kind of wrong behavior, habit that you're doing something. But what part of yourself did you have to let go and say, this is what I need to remove in order for me to grow?
Yeah, I'd say there's two pivotal things I had to let go in my career, I guess right. The first part is ego. Um, and I'm not sure if it is for men, but I feel like it's more prevalent amongst men.
Yeah.
It's so common for us to like feel like
Manly.
we have to be the guy. We have to know all the answers. We have
Yeah.
to figure everything out all ourselves, right?
Very true.
When there's so much help, if you really ask and seek out for it, and you seek for mentorship, and you seek for guidance from people, who has the fruit on the tree, who has the results in their life, in their career, that you can lean in and learn from, and you can take that. And the weirdest thing about what I find a lot of men will even get to that point, we'll find someone we can learn from, and we're like, nah, I know better. Like I know they don't understand my situation, right? So
ego is the enemy, my friend.
yeah, and I really had to let that go and say, hey, I'm gonna learn how to live in submission.
Yeah.
If I believe that I'm sitting at the feet of someone that has some form of level of success that I want, and I believe that they have their best interests at heart for me, I'm just going to submit, and I'm going to lean in and do more or less exactly what they tell me to do.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's it. And that was able to
very good.
Create great results for me in the corporate world. And then about 2 years ago, I realized that I was a bit of a comfort zone. That I was like, hey, I need to let that go. And I started feeling I'm like, I'm all that and a bag of chips and everything like that. And
I hear you.
And I'm not sure you remember this, when you were starting early off in career. Remember that feeling, like that imposter syndrome, that you felt like you don't know what you're doing, everything like that.
Yeah,
I felt like that all throughout my 20s, and the start of my 30s. And I realized that was a problem, and I started realizing that imposter syndrome typically is a good sign, because that means you're growing, you're stretching yourself into realms and worlds that you don't feel quite comfortable in. And I started realizing that, hey, I need to get more uncomfortable again. I need to challenge myself. I need to set, audacious goals that scare me. I need to put my heart on the line, because I started realizing that, the greatest thing that I realized, I saw that in the people I was mentoring too. Because I was getting in the comfort zone, they were getting into a comfort zone too. Because they, people don't do what you tell them to do. They do what they see, right? And when they saw that I was kind of relaxing and coasting, and they were relaxing and coasting too, right?
Yeah.
And I said, about 2 years ago, I made decisions that I'm going to be an amazing example for, both my wife, but also my mentees.
Yeah.
That, hey, I want you to be more successful than me, but I'm going to make it very hard for you to do that, right? I want to show you taillights. I want to move on. I want to, prosper in a big way. I want to make a big impact in a big way. To share with you an example of what it looks like to go all in on something, right? On going all in. I want to be that example.
That's so beautiful. That really sits well with me, because just from hearing what you've mentioned right now, ego and comfort, those are two areas that I can relate 100%, especially the comfort part, because people don't realize where you have to get and step out of your comfort zone in order for new amazing things will start to evolve right when you start stepping out of that area that you're so happy.
Sure.
And it's so nice how you said that, because whoever it is that you're mentoring, I come from the education background, not just hospitality. And when I would be dealing with students and students that are, you know, they just arrived to Canada and they're not very comfortable speaking English, like there's this fear. But the moment, as an educator, as an instructor, when I remember noticing that, I thought that this would be such an amazing opportunity to get them out of their comfort zone
Sure.
so that they can really build up their characteristics and their personality and skills. Because really, the only way that you can build yourself is by doing the things that you are not comfortable in doing. And when that thing that you're not comfortable in doing at one point starts off very challenging, after doing it numerous times, it becomes something easy. And that's the beautiful thing about evolution. I truly believe in that. When you evolve and constructing yourself, what one thing can seem to be extremely difficult for one person, but for another it's just a natural thing. And that really comes by developing this type of skill of trying. And I'm an explorer. I'm a nomad. I'm an individual that just loves to go through all of the learning curves in life so that I can better myself. And but it's exhausting to continue to put yourself out there, to put yourself and face the discomfort, and yet at the same time motivate. So with that, as you can see, I'm flowing it into the other question. It connects to it. When you are trying to maintain your ego and to step out of your comfort, but sometimes nothing seems to be working out for you. So what keeps you motivated on those days?
Yeah. Um, I really believe that you need to rely on discipline and routines more than motivation. I'll give you an example. No matter what the worst day you had in your life, where maybe someone passed away, or you got injured or really sick or everything like that, chances are you probably still brushed your teeth.
Obviously.
Right?
Yeah.
Chances are you use the restroom, you still wiped.
Yeah, you drink water, you still go to the bathroom, still wash your face.
Right.
Life goes on.
So what I'm trying to say is that when you have certain disciplines that have been entrenched in your life, that they're anchors when those days that they lack that motivation. There are some like morning routines that I have every single day. I wake up, I read the Bible, I read a book, I do a bit of a prayer and a gratitude exercise, right? And I'm still working on building better routines in the morning as well. It's like a constant progress, right? But once you have those routines, there's another routine I do. Every day I reach out to at least 10 people in my network.
Saying what?
Catch up, see what's going on. May I see something on their social media that's kind of new and interesting. And that's something that I learned very early on from my mentors, that hey, you're not just collecting business cards or collecting contacts. You have to invest into your network and invest into relationships and everything like that.
This is an example of it right now. This is exactly what I'm trying to do. I'm going and reaching out to experts for the same reason of how you're saying, reaching out to 10 people for whatever their reasons would be, not just collecting business cards. Very good point, what you just said.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised, and with no agenda in mind, everything like that. So no surprise that whenever I have a lack of motivation or have a bad day or something like that, those kind of routines anchor me, right? And it's one of those things that are, and I try to keep those routines as something that's easy to do,
Yeah.
but also easy
Yeah.
not to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I do know what you mean.
so
Easy
that,
to do and easy not to do. Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Good.
So I try to keep those routines to really anchor me, so that even on my worst day, I can still do those things, and I can feel like a winner. I can feel like a champion, right? Just like when those days that you don't want to go to the gym, but you go to the gym anyways, and you feel like a bad, you know, you know what?
Badass.
Yeah, you feel like a bad, you know what? Because and
love that.
if you anchor those routines, that once you create a string of victories for you, that if for 30 days straight, I put people, when I start mentoring and working with them, I put them on 30 and 90-day challenges of just consistency. Damn the results. Don't care about the results. I give them like 6 or 7 things to work on every single day, small things, and I guarantee them, and I've never been wrong so far. And I probably put like dozens of people on this program, not hundreds yet, but after 30 days, they get better looking. Now, what I mean by that is that they get more confident, they smile more, they have a brighter energy, because they feel like a winner inside. They done something consistent. They felt like a winner for 30 days straight. I've never seen I've never seen after 90 days, they start getting tangible results in their life and their career.
You're definitely a coach, a mentor. You're an individual that I believe that needs to remind people certain things, that they know what they're capable of. And I like the fact that you give them this timeline for them to reach it. But the most important thing is you are instilling this in them when they've been having all these doubts, their trauma, their whatever issues that haunts them. So being able to do that is inspiring, to be honest with you, to be able to motivate others. And it seems like you've mentioned it in a way that sounds realistic. Like when you're talking about incremental progress of just improving a small amount, it gives the person a sense of ability of belief that they can achieve it. No, don't. You don't have to get that beach body in one night or one day. We're not talking. We're saying do what you can in just with this one day. What is it? These small incremental effects would be the ones that would give the best results down the road, and that's something that I follow. And clearly, you have like this hospitality nature in you, and I can see that you love dealing with professionals and entrepreneurs. But why is it that you love working with hospitality professionals to become entrepreneurs and encourage them to start their own business?
Yes, one thing I love about hospitality professionals, a lot of people, when you start their own business, you think it's about selling something. Right, and that's a conception, right? Like business people, you gotta be good at sales and everything like that. But I believe that the best business professionals are the ones that focus on service.
Yeah, me too.
Focus on putting not your interest first, but what's the client want.
I agree.
And I love working with 2 of the guys I work with. One is a host and server, as part of the one of the Earls Barrel type chains, right? Another guy works at a hotel, right? And give me 1 second. Hey, Jamla, can you turn that down? Okay, thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, so go back. There's 2 individuals I work with that I have immense pride in as hospitality professionals. One works as part of one of the Earls Tap and Barrel chains, right? Another works in a hotel downtown. And I love hospitality professionals because the misconception about business people is that they have to be good salespeople. But I believe the best business people, best entrepreneurs, is not about selling a product. It's about trying to solve a problem or
Yes.
deliver a solution to a customer.
100%.
And the coolest part also is that once people start getting into business, I think people start realizing that the product doesn't really matter as much as the service and the intangibles that you give it, right? And I'll give the example, right? Like, is Starbucks the best cup of coffee in the world?
I don't think so, to be
Right,
honest. I've tried other specialty coffees.
Yeah, but it's in the tangibles, right?
Correct.
That they write your name on the cup. You know, they purposely lower their espresso machines to below eye level,
so they can see you.
so they can see you. They can have that human interaction. There's one of the books I definitely recommend. I'm sure you read it. Is Unreasonable Hospitality.
I haven't heard that one yet. Let me
You
write
have
that
not?
down. No, Unreasonable Hospitality.
That is the hospitality book. So you heard of 11 Madison Park?
Yes.
So
That
the owner of 11 Madison Park wrote this book.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes. And I started thinking in terms of my business, how can I deliver moments of wow, moments of experience to my customers, right? Little things like, my wife, she runs a skincare business. Every time she has a new customer, she takes the time to write a handwritten thank you card.
Yeah.
Right.
Personalized.
Yeah. Every time, if I have a customer or a client that I know they have kids or something like that, next time I see them or meet them, I always have a little gift for the kids.
That's so, going that extra mile and doing things more than what people expect. I did one of my videos on my YouTube channel. It's called Exceeding Expectations. And it's like doing things more than what people expect. And you'll notice that in today's world, it goes far beyond than just the expectations of receiving the tangible service or the tangible product. And the service that you're doing it, like, people are no longer, it doesn't get there. It becomes by default that, like, yeah, I'm expecting for you to do the service. You have to serve me the burgers and fries. You have to serve me, like, services. By default, people tend to have this expectations.
Sure.
But it's now a matter of going above and beyond and doing things more than what people expect. And it's those things that separates good from great, I believe. Is really noticing those small elements. Like, you see a child, well, here's an extra, coloring, drawing booklet for you, or you see a person going for a run, here's an extra bottle of water just in case. Like, small things, people will feel noticed. One thing I mentioned is, for example, you could be walking down the corridors, leaving your room, and the housekeeper will be greeting you by your name. You've never seen this person before. Like, how do you? But then just the fact of them noticing you, knowing your name, you will remember that throughout the whole day, but, like, you won't think about other things that just comes by natural default. So these small things, I believe, are the things that makes the difference. And people like you and myself are the ones that have to remind the audience to know you need to do more than just what you're supposed to do in terms of service.
Yes, I just want to add one more thing. Is I'm not sure a lot of people. You say you taught a lot of international students, and something that I think is very relevant, and if people are coming from a different country, is that a lot of people are coming to North America from an industrializing economy. So they're seeing businesses where it's about trade or selling products and consumables and, like, industrialization, fabrics. Their family or their uncles, they have a fabric factory, or like a motorcycle shop, or, like, they're manufacturer of sorts, right? So when they're importing rice and selling it and everything like that. North America is a developed economy now. I don't mean developed as in, like, standards. I mean, like, those industries are very mature now.
True.
They're very mature, and it's very competitive. And the companies at the top, they're operating on razor thin margins.
Mm.
So if you say like, hey, I want to import rice and sell it, and which maybe that's something that people did back home or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The margins there are so thin.
Yeah.
That you're competing against, and they have such a big wholesale purchasing power
Mm.
that it'd be crazy to compete against them. So really, the only, well, not only, but some of the core value propositions and the core ways that you can distinguish yourself
Yeah.
is that service. We are in a service-based economy.
I agree.
My wife is going through her Canadian citizenship test right now,
Nice.
and
Good luck for
she's
her.
kind of doing practicing. And one of the questions they asked is like, what is Canada's biggest industry or biggest sector, right? And
Agriculture?
no, it's service. It's like
Is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, service. I didn't know that. I thought,
50,
yeah.
53% of Canadians are employed in the service economy.
Oh, wow. Okay, good to know.
So
Yeah,
if you think about like, wait, what's when you're opening up a yoga studio, or if you're opening up a restaurant or a cafe, or
it's
or
all
you're
service oriented.
you're an esthetician or something in that.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a salon or something that I grew up around Chinatown, so there's people to this day that you can find on Victoria Drive that gives $10 haircuts.
That's true. I've actually seen
to this day you can still get a $10 haircut, but people don't go to $10 haircut places. My haircut's like $30, $40, $50.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a value in in terms of like going up market to like, hey, not the product isn't the haircut. The product is the actual additional service.
The experience
that they know your name, right?
Yeah.
Go to a $10 haircut. There's like,
I've done those $10 haircuts. They do it with their eyes closed and they don't even pay attention. You'll be done in and out within 5 minutes. Then don't expect much. It's so true. But then value comes with it. Value comes with the price, and I mean, price and time. Price and quality equals value. So if the price is low and the quality is low, then expect the value to be low, and that's what you will get from a $10 haircut. But then when you go to like a high-end salon that has great quality results and it's a bit pricey, the value and the return of it, that you're being treated well, you have good experience, the environment, the atmosphere, the moment you step in until they step out. I believe that in the hotel industry, and like when you look at the luxury hotel chains and luxury hotel businesses, I specialized in that for many years as well. So there would be some training protocol that we would have to do in order for us to stand out. Well, training for us to do to ensure that the moment the guest steps in your hotel, they have to be in some amazing experience, that they're the number one spotlight, most important person in the world in our eyes in this hotel. But in the moment that person walks out from the hotel, he's just like an average Joe, a regular nobody. But when they walk in the hotel, you are my MVP. And this level of recognition and attention, this handled with care, I think that people appreciate it a lot in terms of wanting to come back. It retains them. People come back for that.
And I have to say, service has fallen off a cliff a little bit.
I agree.
People are chasing after automation and efficiency and all this kind of stuff. It's become so easy to stand out. You have good service, right?
That's so true.
Like just the little simple things like picking up the phone and calling someone.
Mm-hmm.
Like having an actual home instead of texting and emailing all the time.
Yeah.
Even something small as that.
Yeah. This generation that we're in and the way that things are moving, and it's very concerning because technology is going so fast with AI. People tend to want things right away, and they have no patience. So it's like, I want to skip the line and I don't want to talk to the person behind the counter. I'll go to this self-service kiosk and order my damn food myself. I'm noticing, like what you just said, we're becoming more self-isolated, self-service it's kind of distancing us away from the service experience, considering the fact that people want what they want right away.
Sure.
So I am concerned about how things would be looking in the future if it's not handled properly for whichever business that you're in. I try my best to stick to the quality. I don't like to rush things. So I know for me in my service industry, I will never be able to work in an industry where it's like quick, take and go, take and go, take and go, because my fire in me is about that service that you're talking about, to making that difference. So I'm going to wrap it up with one last question for you, Justin, and we will be able to finish it there. So this is a final advice that I would like for you to give to my audience. Is what would you give someone trying to figure out what to do in their profession and life? Because before you tell me, let me just shape this question better. There are lots of people out there that tend to lose track or not know the right techniques, the blueprint, the framework. How can we improve ourselves and try to figure out where we are in this world? So I want to be better in my profession and in life. What advice would you give?
I would say number one, you have to know yourself to grow yourself. And the first part I would say is that what are some of your dreams? What are some of your core values? Sometimes you might not know that, but I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have there's a great purpose exercise. I believe it's from Jim Rohn. Basically, imagine you have $200 million, but you only have 5 years left to live. You list out 20 things that you want to do, and then you narrow it
Yeah.
down to the top 3. And I think that's a great place to start. Just figure out like, hey, what are some of your core values? What are the core things that you believe in? Because it's easy to get dragged on with life, where you graduate and you find a job, and then you climb up the ladder and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
Some people, that's their dream. They maybe they come from a poorer or country with less opportunities. So for the idea of you have a secure job, and you can work there for 10, 15 years, and you can buy maybe a townhouse or something like that one day. Like that's and you have like that's a dream, right? And that's great and all, right? And I know that I'm not that way. I
What's your
want
way?
I want significance. I don't the money is good because I can be able to do more with it. I can give more of it away, right? My wife's different. She wants to shop more. But with myself personally.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah. And I know for yourself, you want to be able to afford great dog food, because I bet your dog eats better than you do.
Well, I definitely spoil them a lot, that's for
Yeah.
sure. They don't eat their standard dry kibbles, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's different too.
You can see their pictures. They're definitely well taken care of. But that's very, very good what you said, the core values. And it's so helpful for the people to hear this, because you're setting your values based on what your beliefs are, which can be somewhat different than others. Like you just said an example, like for example, my partner is different. 1, 2, 3. Like I know it's like a joke, but still, like, how can one person really get to know themselves in order for them to set these core values? I'm in my early, I don't want to say, I'm in my early 40s now. It took me such a long time to be able to be my own best friend. It took me a long time to enjoy my own company. As a person that traveled and lived in places alone, I had to learn to not rely on other people in order for me to be fulfilled, because I don't know people in these countries that I'm working at, and I know the ones that I know, but whenever I want to do something, they're not available for me. They're like in their own lives. So it's like, okay, well, I need to go out and do my own thing. How I did my practices about, my values, which is enjoying my own self, being my own cheerleader. Like I have to cheer myself up because no one's going to cheer me up, especially when I'm down. So in the back of my mind, I have like this, yeah, with pom pom saying go go
Yeah, yeah.
go. Like there's a lot of these things where I had to be like, well, before when I was young, I wouldn't feel comfortable to go and eat in this restaurant all by myself because like
Mm,
I don't know anybody, but this food is really good. Or I want to go to this Chris Brown concert, but I don't know anybody to go with me. I don't want to go alone. I'll look like an idiot. Like, so these things allowed me to step out and say, you know what? Who do you, the hell with anybody? You have yourself, and that's more than enough. Enjoy your time, enjoy
yeah.
being your best friend. So, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, yeah, that's a very loaded question.
It's
I can share with you. I can share you what's helped me, but
Mhm.
that could be very something that someone might need to go see therapy for, in terms
Mm.
of just getting that extra
Boost.
help.
Mm.
Yeah, to be know thyself, and a lot of
Mhm.
times if you care a lot about what other people think, there could be other
Mm.
underlying issues
Mm.
there, whether it's certain trauma you've gone through.
That's very true.
And I know I have friends that have ADHD and on the autism spectrum,
Yeah.
and that is something that is one of the symptoms
Hmm.
of that, and they have to go see therapy to kind of cope with that.
That's
But
true.
I know for myself personally, like I did used to care a lot about you
Other
know
people.
other people, how I'm showing up, where I did everything right, and being too self-critical and everything like that. And then when I had a very close encounter with God, and I, I I felt His unconditional love for me, and I felt that everything is going to be okay. Like I have you. I'm your loving father, and I'll protect you. And no matter what hard things go through, I'll be there. I'll hold you strong. When I felt that, that gave me an overwhelming peace in my life. And no matter how bad things get, I feel like I feel like someone has got
Something
me, has got my back, right? And the second thing is that I'm still
beautiful.
working on this, is the finding moments of stillness,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is harder and harder with these things.
Yeah. This work-life balance, trying to focus on the present, just the now. Because when we think too much about the future, we build worry. People worry too much about what we don't know. And then when you look at the past, it brings anxiety. So here we are trying to focus on stillness. It's a practice I do every day now. Like I'm so thankful to be able to have such a strong faith with the Almighty God, and it's whether anyone has their own views and religious beliefs or whatnot. In the end of the day, you have to have something inside you that
Sure.
pull. There's something that needs to pull you through, and you have to believe in something, whether it's
Yeah.
God or you believe in yourself, whatever it is. For me,
Yeah.
I know for a fact that there is a higher divine power. We call it energy, we call it God, we call it
Mhm.
universe. But when you seek out for it and you ask for it, and you be like, I am there for you, help me, I'll tell you one thing, it has never let me down.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanted to add one thing, and you're welcome to disagree with me or even cut this part out.
That's
I
fine.
really believe that if you believe in yourself too much, that's very dangerous. What I mean by that is that who's ever been a perfect person, right? Who's
Mm,
never not failed, right? If you're relying on yourself,
mm.
you are going to fail one day, and
I
that could
think
be very dangerous in terms of relying on yourself fully.
100%. And that would be a conversation where I'm sure there's like a huge debate regarding that topic. I'm always wanting to know what other people's views are. I know for a fact that having self belief is good in terms of your ability to do things based on your skills, but having the type of support in terms of love and care, the ability to combat certain things, I know for a fact that I don't have the resources and the skills to do it myself. I'm just a soul a spirit inside this body that's just like, but for me, I know that what allows me to shape myself in life is believing in the higher source, and my actions in this world is based on the language of what I've been taught throughout my years of throughout my life, regardless of my religious beliefs are. It's at the end of the day, God teaches us to know what's right from wrong. And all of the, not going into much in a preaching style, but I can tell you that if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be where I am today, man.
Amen.
Like,
That's
he's
great.
my best friend, and
I love
that's
it.
the only thing that I feel that helps. I'm a soldier of God. I'll tell you that. Like, I'm proud of that, and it's just so many different types of stories that leads to the same room, and I love it. But I would love to sit with you one day, Justin, and hear more about your beliefs on another topic. This would be a very nice conversation for us to have, man. But what a good way to conclude this conversation. It was
Thank
really
you.
nice,
Thank you.
man.
That was great. That was great. And thank you for the thoughtfully prepared questions, and I
Yeah.
appreciate it a lot.